And welcome to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show, right here at 6 Scale Cantina. So my goodness, what a crazy week within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. You got figures that are pushing into the $300 tier range. You got others pushing now into the $400 tier range, the $500 tier range, the $600 tier range. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what's going on the market value chart. We're also going to take a look at the biggest mover section. We have some new entries within 6scalecantina.com. And we're also going to head on over to Sideshow. Let's go ahead and dive into it right now. All right, and welcome everybody to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina. So if you didn't get an opportunity yet to watch the latest 6 Scale Scavengers bi-weekly YouTube channel podcast show, I highly recommend doing so. I was the special guest this past Wednesday evening on their latest show. And boy, did I have just a fabulous time with TC, Chris, and Brian. We chatted up everything, Hot Toys. What a really good conversation. And, you know, if you didn't get a chance to check it out yet, I have the link to their channel within the video description below. And please go ahead and check it out. And if you're not subscribed to them already, I highly recommend subscribing to their channel. It's really, really excellent and fun Hot Toys talk. And again, it is one of my favorite channels on YouTube in general. The vibe is really good. The talk is real. And again, I look forward to doing future things with those three guys in the future for sure. Also, if you didn't check out the first ever live stream of the Market Value Chart Show, please go ahead and do so. I have the link to the first live stream within the video description below as well. We peaked at 100 viewers for the first ever live stream this past weekend. Wow, that was insane. We had Nate from Geeking Out in the house. We had Mike from the Action Figure Cave in the Cantina as well. We had such a fun time. And to answer a lot of questions out there, yes, I will be continuing to do live streams on a regular basis. For right now, we are going to keep it bi-weekly. So we will have the next one, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the Saturday after, March 27th. Same time, same station, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So go ahead and book that for March 27th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Market Value Chart Show will be live once again. And we will have Nate from Geeking Out and Mike from the Action Figure Cave back with us. And I have the links to their channel within the video description below here as well. So let's go ahead and start this episode of the Market Value Chart Show. There is certainly a lot to discuss and a lot that has transpired over the past week for Star Wars Hot Toys. So heading on over to 6scalecantina.com, let's go ahead and get started within the biggest mover section. So first of all, we have some new breaking information. The heavy infantry Mandalorian has soared into the $400 tier range. Now, this figure is also selling within the $500 tier range. This is waitlist full at Sideshow right now. And you can look here at just one auction from the US, $495 just back from March 16th with 8 bids. Again, U.S. seller. Wow. So this figure, you know, on the live stream on Wednesday night with the scavengers, 6 scale scavengers, we discussed, there's some information that another batch of this heavy infantry Mandalorian, has come over from Hong Kong. Now, I've had this figure on pre-order, and I did get my announcement just earlier this week that, it shipped out. So you have to wonder, is that going to go ahead and affect this figure right now within the secondary market? And, the question is, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Right now this is trending very high, in the high 400s, selling into the $500 tier range. Right now, the market value chart does show this particular figure right around, 430 or so. We'll take a look at it in a little bit when we get to the market value chart. Now, I think that batch really fulfills orders that were already in, not only to collectors, but some shops that had some stock that they wanted to get in. So I would certainly recommend, calling your local comic shop or a comic shop, or, seeing if they're going to have this, in place before you go ahead and pay these crazy secondary market prices. However, at the end of the day, this figure is, and right now, trending in the $400 tier range. At the end of the day, I really believe that this figure will no doubt be a high $400 tier range figure. And you have to wonder, is it possible that this figure could hit the $500 tier range when it's all said and done? You have to wonder. Now, I'm going to be coming out with a video soon where we're going to really dive into this figure and some of my thoughts on a lot of the other figures on what the future holds as far as a potential reissue. I could tell you now that I really believe with this figure that this character is going to show up again in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. I think that it's set up for this character to return, possibly even with, in that faction with the armor, because of, what's going on with Bo-Katan and the Mandalorian, Din Djarin helping her. And, you might think, hey, and I might think that they can just reissue this figure like they did the Yoda Empire, not Empire Strikes Back, but the Yoda Attack of the Clones reissue that they did, the Darth Vader Empire Strikes Back, the Boba Fett Empire Strikes Back. But, this character here is not as popular as those aforementioned figures. And I think Hot Toys would be pretty savvy with this, where they would make some differences if they were going to reissue this figure. And just like you have different versions of Boba Fett, and just like you have different versions of, Mando, you would get a different version of this. So now you're going to get some of the collectors that already have this figure that are going to want the new version of this figure. Maybe the new version will even come with a head sculpt. You never know, So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But look towards the future for a video coming out real soon where we dive into some of these particulars of if Hot Toys would go ahead and do a straight reissue of some of these figures. So let's go ahead and go to the next figure on the in the biggest mover section. So Commander Cody. So Commander Cody is on the move, and it has entered the $360, the upper $300 tier range. It's trending somewhere around $360 or so, and rising. So, that's a little bit quicker than even I expected. I really think that Captain Rex is what's going to pull this figure forward, and of course, other Clone Wars figures on top of that besides just Rex. But you could take a look, right here. So, here's a current an auction or a listing actually where this went for $400 that this went for, which is crazy. And then let's go ahead and go to another one if I have it up here on the screen. And you could see right now with basically 2 days left, with 18 bids, $355 with 18 bids. So this figure is trending up, folks. And is it possible that this Commander Cody will enter the $400 tier range even before Captain Rex gets in stock at Sideshow? Let me know what you think. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next figure that I have at the biggest mover section. So K2SO continues to trend up, no surprise there. Jyn Erso. Jyn Erso is really on fire right now. Let's see if I have something up, for her. And I actually don't at the moment, but she is just trending at a very high price, and Jyn is getting close to entering the $600 tier range. That's really the news with this Jyn Erso deluxe figure. It is right now trending in the high $500 tier range. So you have to wonder, could Jyn Erso, this deluxe version, actually enter the $600 tier range? And if that does happen, is it possible that the Imperial Disguise version is going to shoot up as well? And I think that it would, if that deluxe version does. So it's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Yeah, of course, Tarkin and Vader are trending up. We talked about that in last episode. R2-D2, A New Hope, Count Dooku. So Count Dooku has now entered the $400 tier range. Now, I've been saying for a few weeks already that I believe that this figure, was getting a lot of data, that this figure was selling well into the $400 tier range, and it has now entered the $400 tier range. We're going to take a look at the exact price that it's at on the market value chart in just a bit. Leia Endor. Leia Endor continues to climb, and going down this list a little bit, you can see that Leia Bespin now is continuing to it has just entered the biggest movers section, and that was climbing, and now it's really climbing. So I'm no surprise with these figures. I talked about that in a prior episode that, there's not a whole lot of big head sculpt differences between this, Bespin Leia and, the Endor Leia. I think that they're all pretty comparable, amongst each other. So, I do think that, at the end of the day, will these two figures, is it possible that this Leia Endor and the Bespin Leia, will they actually get too close to where the Hoth Leia is? And I believe that it's possible. Will it get right up to where it is? I don't know. But, are these $300 tier range figures? Are these mid $300 tier range figures? And I say yes. So, if you've been on the fence with these figures, or you want to get this figure and you have money budgeted for it and you want a Leia, I would probably look right now within the secondary market to pick up a Leia Endor by herself, or that Bespin Leia, because there's going to come a time where it's going to come close, if not be right there, with the Hoth Leia and the A New Hope Leia, for sure. Right now Chirrut is on fire, and I think I did have that one ready. So, you could see right here, this is a non-deluxe version, sold for $495 and change US. Wow. Wow, that is just crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So both the deluxe and the non-deluxe version of Chirrut is just very highly sought after. Are they going to go ahead and do a reissue of Chirrut? Again, I have an upcoming video about that where we're going to dive into a lot of these, and we'll discuss it then, so please look out for that. Continuing to go down, yes, that Luke Skywalker A New Hope continues to rise. Krennic, we already talked about Bespin Leia. Obi-Wan A New Hope. Obi-Wan A New Hope has entered the $500 tier range. It was showing signs for a while of being able to break through in that tier range. It was teetering, within the high $400 tier range for a while. But it's moved enough now where it has entered into the biggest mover section here at 6scalecantina.com. And, you can go ahead and take a look at this Obi-Wan. March 14th, $520 with 9 bits. And let's see if I have another one. Going too fast there. Maybe it's the one before. Yes, here we go. $510 from March 10th. So this figure is consistently selling now in the $500 tier range. And so that's incredible. Would Hot Toys reissue this figure? We're going to discuss it in that upcoming episode that I'm teasing y'all with. Let's continue to go down this list. Very interesting with the with the Jawa and Gonk droid. It's actually trending down lower than the retail price at Sideshow. And a lot of collectors aren't hot on this figure. And you have to wonder, would Hot Toys actually reissue this figure or come out with a Mandalorian version of the Jawa, maybe a 2-pack or included in some kind of deluxe set? I sure hope so, because this one's, just okay. But, you have to wonder, I wonder if this is going to get free shipping or some discount goes in the future. Very interesting with that one. Remnant Trooper, Boba Fett Vintage continue to go up. So now both Rays, you've been seeing that Ray and BB-8 has been trending up. And you also got Ray from The Last Jedi that is starting to trend up. That figure kind of goes up and down anyway. But right now it's been showing pretty steady signs of, trending up. And it's getting close to that $300 tier range. This The Last Jedi Ray. And you have to wonder, is it possible that this Last Jedi Ray could hit the $300 tier range? Much like this, The Force Awakens version, that has entered the very low $300 tier range and has been trending there. So very interesting on Ray right now within the secondary market. Also, the I think it's the Resistance outfit ones is showing signs of trending up. Not as big as these two, but it is trending up. And you have to wonder if the upcoming Rise of Skywalker figures or the upcoming Rey and Dio figure has anything to do with that. We'll go ahead and discuss that a little later on the show. So let's go ahead and move on over to the market value chart and take a look at some of those figures over there and move to the second segment. So heading on over to the market value chart, remember whenever you go to the market value chart at 6scalecantina.com, go ahead and hit that current value column a couple of times, that arrow within that column, so you get the highest ranked figures to the lowest ranked figures, so it's easier to navigate top to bottom. So let's go ahead and discuss some of these for sure. So again, the 2-packs at the top of the list. Han and Chewie A New Hope steady, $900. Tarkin and Vader steady, $840 and climbing. The Shore Trooper steady, $662. Again, even with the other versions of the Shore Trooper coming out, this figure continues. It climbed and it stayed steady at that new climb. Very highly sought after. You have to wonder, when those other Shore Troopers get closer to release, or when the final production photos come out and they get in stock, will this Shore Trooper, the original one from Rogue One that they released, will it actually stay within the $600 tier range? Will it go lower, or will it get higher? No. Luke Bespin, the exclusives, continue to stay steady. Darkside Anakin, again, very steady, climbed very, very high. $633 now in steady. That means it's selling into the $700 consistently. It's also selling in the 600s a lot. You never really see it sell for anything $500 at all on eBay, and hardly ever in the buy-sell group. Sometimes you luck out and you can get this in the high 500s on a buy-sell group, And if you do, and you're looking for this figure, that's actually a scoop because it's just showing no signs of, of deteriorating. And you have to wonder, is it possible that this Darkside Anakin can hit the $700 tier range? And I believe the answer is yes. How much further will it go than that? I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on it for sure. Again, we talked about K2SO, but that's $623 and rising. Animated Boba Fett, $610 and steady. The Emperor Deluxe, staying steady in that $600 tier range. It climbed very, very high, and then it stayed there, and it leveled out at 601. And this figure, folks, it just absolutely continues to just soar within the secondary market. You can see right here an auction again, just from March 16th, $610 with 22 bids. Absolute craziness with that figure for sure. All right, let's continue to go down this list here. This Luke Beskar regular, $600 and steady. Again, we're going to talk about, this figure in the next upcoming episode as well that I've been teasing. So we'll look into that. Anakin, Revenge of the Sith. Will this figure hit the $600 tier range where the Darkside Anakin is? And I believe that it's possible with this one. Jyn Erso. So you can see right here, $567 is the actual value and rising. Will this Jyn Erso, is it possible it will enter the $600 tier range? And with how hot Star Wars is right now, and how hot everything is on Disney Plus, and I don't see it slowing down, I believe that, yes, it is possible. Absolutely crazy. Let's continue to go down this list. Here's Obi-Wan from A New Hope. $505 and rising. It has entered the $500 tier range and at $505. Now, very interesting with the one above it. This Luke, Return of the Jedi Deluxe at $508. This is one of the ones that climbed really, really, really high after the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian because of Luke showing up. And then it kind of leveled off, but it was already high to begin with, even before he showed up. This is now starting to show signs of climbing back up again, this particular Endor versions of Luke. So is this something that is going to rise back up again? And I think it's possible. Now, with the imminent release of a Luke from The Mandalorian, is that going to hurt these figures once it goes out? Is just more of, hey, I'm tired of waiting for them to officially announce that? We'll have to see. The one thing I will tell you is they come out with the, Mandalorian version of Luke. It won't be a Return of the Jedi version. It'll probably have similarities. And you have to wonder if they're going to change that head sculpt. I believe they're going to change some of the paint applications and certainly the hair. Maybe something with the eyes. But there's going to be a segment of collectors that are going to want different versions. And Luke is hot. We'll have to keep an eye on this and exactly where it goes. Let's continue to go down this list. So let's talk about Darth Maul DX17 and also going down the list. A little bit further down is Darth Maul DX16. So this particular figure, folks, it's a really good figure, and as I've been mentioned in prior episodes, it continues to slowly go up in value. And with all the hype of Star Wars and the huge success of The Mandalorian Season 2, it really didn't nudge this figure too much. It's just been what it's been even before The Mandalorian Season 2, but it continues to rise. And again, they did come out with that Qui Gon Jinn, which is in stock at Sideshow. And I think at the end of the day, yes, this figure will enter the DX16 anyway, will enter the $400 tier range, and I think that that's where it's going to teeter, somewhere in the low 400s, mid $400 tier range. Of course, you have the DX17, with the speeder bike. That's obviously 478 and rising. So here's Chirrut Deluxe, 466 now and rising. Wow. And here's Chirrut Non-Deluxe, $444 and rising. Again, people just want the Chirrut. So, and there's Count Dooku. He has entered the $400 tier range, $438 and rising, and right below it, that heavy infantry Mandalorian, $438 and rising. So it's going to be real interesting with that heavy infantry Mandalorian to see exactly what happens with this figure in the upcoming weeks and months, for sure. Leia A New Hope continues to trend up, $430 and rising. Let's continue to go down. I wanted to get to a couple of these Leia figures. So, as you can see here, so Rey Resistance, 284 and trending up. Rey Jedi Training, 281 and trending up. And Rey and BB-8 has been, they're now steady, 300, well, raising up, actually. I think it's going to go actually a little bit higher than this. I don't think it'll go much more, but it's right now 304 and rising. Leia Bespin now $279 and rising, and Leia Endor $267 and rising. So again, if you're looking for a Leia, I think that this is the time right now to go ahead and pull the, to go ahead and make the move on it before it gets up to a much higher range and getting up to where you're going to see the Hoth and A New Hope Leia, which are way up here. Here's A New Hope at $430, and that Hoth Leia, $375, and I do think that this is going to hit the $400 tier range in the upcoming weeks or a couple of months. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So that's going to go ahead and bring us to the third segment on this show, and we are going to head on over to Sideshow. So getting right into the third segment of this Market Outlook edition of the Market Value Chart Show, we are at Sideshow, and as usual, I have these sorted out by Star Wars Hot Toys, best selling wise. And once again, the deluxe Boba Fett set from The Mandalorian Season 2 is still number one when you sort it out. And when you sort it out, everything Hot Toys, whether it's Star Wars, DC, Marvel, whatever, this set at $495 is still number one. Now, Hot Toys did officially announce this week that awesome looking Nightmare Batman and Dark Suit Superman deluxe set, and that looks absolutely incredible. And right now, as of the recording of this part of the episode, that's actually all the way up, sorted out everything, right behind the Beskar deluxe version of Mandalorian. And you have to wonder, is it possible that that Batman and Superman 2-pack, will that actually be the number one seller, sorted out everything wise? Will that go ahead and take the place of the 2-pack of the Boba Fett? We're going to have to keep an eye on it over the next few days and this week for sure, but what a fabulous looking set that is. But going back to the first figure that I want to go ahead and speak to in this segment, let us start with the first figure you see on the screen, which is this deluxe Boba Fett set from The Mandalorian Season 2. So, again, I don't pre-order. I hardly pre-order anything, honestly. I'll either pre-order it from Sideshow once it goes ahead and I see the final production photos if I like it, or if it's an exclusive with them, or or I'll get it from a local comic shop and I'll just say, hey, reserve one for me, and I'll do it that way. But because there's just no reason to. They're going to get in stock. But this one here, I've talked about it before. Again, this has a lot of peculiarities to it. And you cannot get this Temuera Morrison figure, not just head sculpt figure, by itself. But you can get this Boba Fett, this, worn out armor version by itself. But you can't get Temuera Morrison by itself. So again, is this something that I think, if you know you're absolutely going to get it, that I think that you should sleep on? I actually don't. If you were going to pre-order anything and you have it budgeted and allocated to do so, I would do it with this set. It's just very interesting to me. They're going to make a ton of these. They're going to make a lot of these. There's going to be a lot of pre-orders of these for sure. But you got to remember the non-refundable deposit is $50. And if someone is going to spend $50 on this, it is going to be, there are going to be less canceled pre-orders on this than other figures for sure. Okay, so again, is it possible that this set would actually go on waitlist before it actually gets in stock? Not the single version of Boba Fett, but the deluxe set? You have to wonder. Do I think it's possible? I don't know. I actually lean more towards no, but is there a chance? Like a 10% chance, maybe? Yes. So am I going to pre-order this? Absolutely. Do I think that you're just going to be able to get these like Black Series figures once they sell, once they go on waitlist, and you're going to, wait till this set gets discounted like some other ones? No, no, and no. I do not think so with this. Remember, they do not operate Hot Toys like Sideshow or like Hasbro or like some other lines where they get something in stock, it goes out of stock. Oh, let's just go ahead and plan more production. It does not work that way. Once it's done, it is done. Now, sure, can they change their business model before then? Absolutely. But you know what? I'm going to buy this figure anyway. So I went ahead and pre-ordered it for $50. It's just not worth taking a chance. Is it possible? And if it is possible, even if it's just a 10% chance that this can go on waitlist before it actually even gets in stock, I'm going to go ahead and do it. This is a piece I really, really want. And as far as, are you going to be able to resell this deluxe set if you have to get out from under it? Yes, you will. No problem whatsoever. You won't even lose on this. This will absolutely go way more than you did for retail. You'll get your taxes back. You'll get your shipping back. You don't have to wonder like we're wondering about the Leia and Wicket 2-pack. You're not going to have to wonder with this. This is going to go just like Tarkin and Vader and just like Han and Chewie. The question is, should you pre-order it now or will it get in stock? I think there is a small chance, and it is possible, there could be something weird with this. So, that's my take on it. Let's continue to go down the list. Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan is number 2 still. And when you sort it out with all Hot Toys, including Marvel, DC, everything, she is number 3. Right behind Scarlet Witch. And this is a tremendous release. It goes great with all the, it goes great with Clone Wars. It goes great with Rebels. It goes great with The Mandalorian. And for all the Clone Wars figures that they're releasing out, this goes with Clone Wars and it goes with The Mandalorian. I am super excited about this particular release. Do I think that they will make some enhancements on this head sculpt? I do. I think Hot Toys listens. I think Hot Toys listens to what collectors want, and and I talked about it in my last or one of the episodes before. This is a good release, and when you look at the prototype from Secret Base and some of the videos that are out there, it looks even better. Do I think it'll make it even better than that? I actually do. I have great faith that Hot Toys will do that and that they're listening. But I'm most probably going to display this figure with the helmet on anyway. Would it have been nice if they would have maybe offered a non-deluxe set without the head sculpt? People that wanted the head sculpt can get in the deluxe set and then have a non-deluxe set, maybe save a little bit of money. There's a high price point, but prices are going up. It's just how it is. But again, this figure still number 2. Let's go ahead and go back to the list. So the Mandalorian and the Child. So the deluxe set over here. This is actually, when you sort this, is number 3, and when you sort it out everything together, it's number 5 and right after Vision. And this has been up here for a long time, and I think that they've made a absolute ton of this figure and way more than the non deluxe set. Will this get in stock? Absolutely. If you want this figure, I think, but I don't think it'll stay in stock for long. Here's the thing. I don't think it's going to stay in there. I think if it stays in stock, it'll be just like with the OG Mandalorian. But why they're making so many of them, there's a lot of pre-orders on this figure. I think you can absolutely wait till it gets in stock and order it. But I wouldn't wait months and months, because I don't think it's going to be in here months and months. You see where this is right now and where it's been trending, and it's going to continue to be somewhere within the top 10 for a long time, and probably in this top 5 even when it gets in stock. And this will sell out. So if you plan on getting this figure when it gets in stock, I would definitely pre-order this figure. This will go up within the secondary market for sure. IG-11. So again, I've talked about IG-11. They didn't make a whole lot of these. This is now all the way up at number 4. Of course, the pre-orders are coming in now. I don't think there's going to be more than 1 or 2 batches of this. And, I've said it before. Is it possible that this IG-11 could actually go on waitlist before it gets in stock, just like the heavy infantry Mandalorian that you see on the bottom of the screen there? And I think it is possible. Not a guarantee. Definitely not a guarantee, but you have to remember that IG-11 was low on this list forever. Even when they announced it, it was never high. So I do think it's possible. And I think that this is going to be a highly sought-after figure. It was a very, very prominent character within Season 1 of The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian doesn't look like it's going anywhere. They'll have Season 3, they'll have Season 4, they'll have Season 5, so on and so forth. So if this is a figure that you want, I wouldn't wait like Mandalorian and the Child till it gets in stock. I would get this now. Again, just want to remind everybody, we actually talked about it on the 6-scale scavenger stream on Wednesday. Again, I got the link to that stream within a video description below. I linked to their channel. Go ahead and go watch it. Please don't buy, any of these figures because of the hype. Buy it because you want it. If you didn't want IG-11 and you never wanted it, then don't buy it. And if you're going to buy it for an investment, go get a financial advisor and go invest in something else, because collectibles, these type of things, these are not the things to invest your money in. But, if you wanted this figure and I'm going to wait till it gets in stock, just like that OG Mandalorian, that's what I'm going to do. Well, I think you're going to lose on that one. And this will go up high, like the heavy infantry Mandalorian, really quick. So, with Darth Vader and the Boba Fett Empire Strikes Back in the 40th anniversary packaging, I believe that besides IG-11, that these figures here could be the next ones that go on waitlist at Sideshow. So, if you've been sitting on these figures and you've planned on getting it, and you're just like, well, it's in stock, I'm going to go ahead and eventually go ahead and get it. I'm going to tell you right now, like for instance, this limit one per customer Boba Fett in the Empire Strikes Back packaging, that is absolutely going to go on wait list very, very soon, for sure. And as far as Darth Vader, it's not going to be very far behind, if not before or around the same time. So, again, both reissues, just like that Yoda from Attack of the Clones, that is now close to entering the $300 tier range and is selling well within the $300 tier range, and that retailed for somewhere around 200, 190 something or 200. And where you see these retailing right now at $285 for Vader, and same thing there for Boba Fett, around those prices. These are absolutely going to be hitting the high $300 tier range, and just by default, because of these characters and what these characters are and how prominent they are, and the price being almost $300 retail, naturally these are going to most probably hit the $400 tier range. So if you know you're going to get these figures, why would you pay $400? So if you want to get it now, I would absolutely get it now. But again, if you have a Boba Fett and you have a Darth Vader and you really don't want these, but like, oh, maybe I should buy them because they're going to be, really highly sought after. Most of the Vaders that are good like this, that are Rogue One or this, or if they, release a Return of the Jedi or Revenge of the Sith version, and all the Fetts, they're all going to be for $500 figures. So again, if you know you want these figures, I wouldn't wait too much longer. They're going to go ahead and go on wait list. Same thing with this Qui Gon. This Qui Gon that you're seeing there right now, $235 is a real scoop for a hot toy right now. That's a Jedi that comes with a light up lightsaber. Again, this figure will eventually go on wait list. And when it does, is it possible that this Qui Gon Jinn is going to enter the $400 tier range like you see Count Dooku doing right now? And I do think it is possible. So again, this is a great scoop right now at $235. If you've been sitting on it, I wouldn't sit on it forever because it's not going to be on wait list forever, for sure. So that will bring to a conclusion this episode of the Market Value Chart Show. Please go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoy the content. And please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I so very much appreciate your support. We have gotten over 500 subscribers already. I wasn't even sure if we were ever going to hit 500 subscribers, let alone get it now. So thank you so much for spreading the word around about the Market Value Chart Show, and also 6scalecantina.com and the Market Value Chart. I also want to go ahead and announce that we have a brand new Facebook group. Yes, a great place, 6 Scale Cantina Facebook group, where we talk about a lot of the things on the videos, hot toys in general, the secondary market for hot toys. So I got the link to the new Facebook within the video description below. Please go ahead and click on it, check us out, check it out, and join us. And as I mentioned at the beginning, at the onset of the video, the market value chart will continue on a regular basis to go live. Yes, the Market Value Chart Show will continue to have live streams. Right now, we're going to do it bi-weekly. So we will have our next one, not this coming Saturday, March 20th, but the next Saturday, March 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead and book it, Dano. We will absolutely be live. We're going to have Nate from Geeking Out in the house again. We're going to have Mike from the Action Figure Cave in the house again for sure. So go ahead and book it again. Saturday, March 27th, 6 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square. Remember, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. See you next time.